Okay, so let's just talk for a second. Have you ever felt like there's something more? Like behind the curtain of our everyday lives, there are people pulling the strings. People with power. People with secrets. We go to work, we watch TV, we scroll through our phones. But what if that's just the show? What if the real world is happening in rooms we can't get into? Rooms with no windows. Rooms where powerful men meet in secret. This isn't a movie plot, it's a real fear. Who is really in charge of our world? It's a terrifying thought, right? These secret societies have been around for centuries. The Illuminati, Skull and Bones, the Freemasons. We see their symbols everywhere. On our money, on buildings in our own towns, hiding in plain sight. What do they know that we don't? What are they planning behind those closed doors? Are we just pawns in their game? So, where did this all even start? It's so complicated, and the official story feels a little too simple, you know? They say the Freemasons came from the stonemason guilds in the Middle Ages. Like, the actual guys who built the big fancy cathedrals and castles all over Europe. Back then, you couldn't just Google how to build a cathedral. These stonemasons had special knowledge, secret techniques, geometry architecture stuff that made them super valuable. So they formed guilds or lodges to protect their secrets and their jobs. They had to prove they were legit. These guilds had passwords and secret handshakes so they could recognize other skilled masons when they traveled for work. It makes sense, right? It was like a medieval union card. But then, something weird started to happen. Around the 1600s, people who weren't stonemasons started joining these lodges. They were called accepted or speculative masons. These weren't guys who worked with stone, thinkers, philosophers, noblemen, scientists. Why would they want to join a builder's club? What were they really building? Was it something more than just cathedrals? This is where it gets creepy. The first official Grand Lodge was created in London in 1717. From there, it just exploded. Lodges started popping up all over Europe, in France, in Germany, and then it crossed the ocean to America. The founding fathers of the United States? So many of them were Masons. George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Paul Revere, the guys who literally created a country. Were they using Masonic ideas to build America? Is the whole country founded on a secret society's principles? Okay, so let's talk about what actually happens inside these lodges. Because this is where it gets really dark and really weird. We can't get cameras in there, obviously. They guard their secrecy like their lives depend on it. But over the years, some people have left, and they've talked. They describe these rituals that sound like something out of a movie. When you join, you're called an initiate, and the first ceremony is intense. They say you're blindfolded, with a rope called a cable tow around your neck. You're literally being led around in the dark, helpless. The leader of the lodge, the worshipful master, asks you all these questions. You have to swear these terrifying oaths. You promise to never ever reveal the secrets of Freemasonry. And the penalty for breaking that oath? It's not just getting kicked out of the club. Older versions of the oath talk about having your throat cut across, your tongue torn out by the roots, and your body buried in the rough sands of the sea. I mean, come on, that is not normal. This is where things take a really dark turn. For centuries, people have accused the Masons of being more than just a secret club. They've been accused of being a cult, of practicing the occult. Some people have even said they worship the devil. Now, Masons will tell you that's crazy. They'll say you have to believe in a supreme being to join, but they're very careful not to name that being. They call it the great architect of the universe. Is that God, or is it something else? This vague language is what makes people so incredibly suspicious. The accusations of Satanism really blew up in the 1800s. There was this guy named Leo Taxil who claimed he was a high-ranking Mason. He wrote all these books exposing them. He said they worshipped a demon god named Baphomet. That half-goat, half-man creature you've probably seen in pictures. He described these insane rituals. Okay, let's get into the symbols. Because every good conspiracy has symbols, right? The Masons are obsessed with them. Their most famous one is the square and compass, usually with a G in the middle. The square, morality. The compass, boundaries. The G, God or geometry. It sounds innocent enough, but what if it means something else? What if it's a code that only they understand? When you compare their symbols to other groups, it starts to feel connected, like they're all speaking the same secret language. Take the all-seeing eye, the eye of providence, the eye inside the pyramid on the back of the US dollar bill. Everyone thinks that's a Masonic symbol. Masons will say it's been used by lots of cultures, but it's all over their lodges and their writings. It's supposed to be the eye of the great architect watching over them, but other occult groups use it too. Aleister Crowley, famous occultist, used the all-seeing eye. Is it a coincidence? Or are they all tapping into the same dark power source? And then there's the connection to other secret groups. Look at the Knights Templar, warrior monks from the Crusades, super rich and powerful, suddenly wiped out, accused of heresy and devil worship. So who are these guys, really? You might be shocked. We're not just talking about your grandpa's weird friend who wears a funny ring, we're talking about some of the most powerful and influential people in history. Let's start with the founding of America. George Washington was a master Mason. He was sworn in as president on a Masonic Bible. He even laid the cornerstone of the U.S. Capitol building in a full Masonic ceremony. Benjamin Franklin was the Grand Master of the Pennsylvania Lodge. 14 signers of the Declaration of Independence were Masons. Is this a coincidence? It doesn't stop there. The influence is everywhere. In politics, so many presidents were Masons. Franklin D. Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Gerald Ford, J. Edgar Hoover, 33rd degree Mason, powerful head of the FBI for almost 50 years. Think about that. The guy who had secret files on everyone was part of the world's biggest secret society. It's like a conspiracy within a conspiracy. Did they use their power to help each other? To cover up scandals? So, after all this, we have to ask the big question. Why are we still so obsessed with them? Why are we still scared of them? The Freemasons will tell you their numbers are dwindling, that they're just a social club that does charity work. Like the Shriners who drive the little cars in parades, they try to act normal. They have websites now. Some lodges even have Facebook pages. They're trying so hard to look like they have nothing to hide. But that almost makes it more suspicious, doesn't it? Like, it's a new kind of camouflage for the digital age. The fear comes from the unknown. It's human nature. They have secrets and they've sworn a blood oath to protect them. That's just fundamentally scary. The idea that a group of people, bound by oaths stronger than law, could have members in the highest levels of government, law enforcement, banking business is terrifying. It suggests there's a secret system of justice and influence that the rest of us are not a part of. We have to play by the rules, but do they? Their loyalty is to the Brotherhood first. Because in a world where information is everything, the ones who hold the biggest secrets hold the ultimate power.